With this particular problem, we're going to graph this quadratic equation. And when we do, we're going to use its properties. So the first thing I notice is that a is -1. So I know that this is going to open downwards like that. While we do this, we're going to make sure we label the vertex, the intercepts, and the axis of symmetry. So let's first find our vertex. For our vertex, we know that that's going to be at an x-coordinate of -b/2a. Our a is -1 and our b is 6. If we plug those in here, we'll find that x-coordinate. So x is going to be the opposite of 6/2 times -1, which is -6/2, or 3. Now we know that our x-coordinate of our vertex is 3. Let's find our y-coordinate by taking this 3 and replacing the x's with it. So we have y equals the opposite of 3 squared plus 6 times 3. Make sure you get your 6 in there. Minus 9. The opposite of 3 squared is -9, so y will equal -9 plus 6 times 3 is 18, and then we've got our minus 9 on the end. And that comes out to making y equals 0. So our vertex is at 3, 0. Let's plot that. 3, 0 is right there, and that's going to be our vertex. It's also on the x-axis, and since this opens down, it's going to go like this, and the only point where it will cross the x-axis is at 3, 0. So that ends up being our x-intercept. Let's find our y-intercept. For the y-intercept, we know something special about it. We know that it happens to have an x-coordinate equal to 0. So let's plug in 0 and see what the y-intercept is. So y is the opposite of 0 squared plus 6 times 0 minus 9. That makes y equal -9. So the y-intercept is at 0, -9. Let's plot that. That's way down here. Now, I noticed something. Our axis of symmetry is the vertical line at our vertex. It's an imaginary line here that the graph is symmetric around. So if I have -9, 3 units to the left of our axis of symmetry, I'm going to have -9, 3 units to the right, which will give me a point down here of 6, -9. That's enough for me to find the shape of my graph. It's going to end up looking like a parabola that goes like that, crossing the y-axis here at -9 and going through 6, -9. And be sure to label your axis of symmetry, which is right here. Its equation is x equals 3, and that is your axis of symmetry, which helped us find that third point. And your y-intercept here at 0, -9. We now have all our intercepts labeled. We have the vertex labeled, and we also have our axis of symmetry labeled.